If you're new to the hobby, the collecting hobby, card hobby, Pokemon hobby, whatever it is, and you have questions about what it's like to enter into now, or thoughts about should I actually do this or not, this video is for you. Why do we collect? What is the reason that we collect? Memorabilia, we've got little trinkets, we've got coins, paper money, cards, comic books, magazines. It really takes a special kind of personality, special meaning, a lot of different reasons, a lot of different things in this context. Some people just love it. It's in their DNA. It's something that's ingrained in them to either remember something or to commemorate something, or bring up a memory from the past that they remember, an athlete doing something special, or an Olympic moment, or for a lot of people the dream team from the NBA brings up that special feeling of, I watched that as a kid. My wife and I just watched a video. I'm a huge Josh Hamilton fan. All the personal struggles aside, I believe fully that he could have been the greatest baseball player to ever live. Should he have at least halfway lived up to the expectations that were placed on him. I also grew up in a town where Josh played minor league baseball, where I got to meet him, go to a couple of his camps when I was younger. A few other connections with Josh, and I relate to him. His story, not with drug addiction, but addiction in general. And I collect his cards. I collect his memorabilia. I've got a ton of Josh Hamilton rookies. I purchased a few a little while ago on eBay. Those things are ingrained in us, as to support or relive those moments. The video I just watched with my wife was if you guys remember the 2008 Home Run Derby. Man, if you watched that live, and I know when I was younger, I would have been like 11, 12, something like that. Wow, what an event to watch live at Old Yankee Stadium if you're a baseball fan. But at the same time, my kids experience the same thing with Pokemon cards, right? They open the packs. They have the memories of opening them. They know what they know what they love. They like looking at the old ones that I had from when I was a kid that's in a binder. It just brings something out in a person that says, I enjoy this long term. It brings back these memories for this reason. And I think we lose that a lot when it comes time to the current state of the hobby. We purchase cards for flipping, for selling, for grading, for whatever other reason, and we've kind of lost sight of the collecting side of things. And it's very easy to do, right? Because there are certain things that you might enjoy, like for example, let's say Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter was one of my generation's great players. I wasn't a Yankees fan, but Jeter is an awesome baseball player. I've got a bunch of Jeter rookie cards. I keep them because of what they're worth monetarily long term. Those don't instill the same memory for me as other people that would. So those things I'm keeping because of the monetary value that they will eventually realize, if I either pass away first and my kids get them, or if I sell them beforehand. There's a lot of different facets and a lot of different reasons to collect and be involved in the card hobby. Unfortunately for new people, which is the primary reason for this video, if you're considering getting into collecting, and this goes with just about anything in the collecting market, especially with trading cards, comic books, sports cards, it's got to be something you enjoy. And so a lot of the first questions that I get when people find out that I'm doing videos and I'm big, highly involved in the card hobby, is what do I buy first, or what do you suggest that I buy, or where can I get the greatest value? And it's not where can I buy what I enjoy. And that's where I highly suggest that you start. Those memories that I bring up with Josh or my kids with Pokemon cards, those are things that go beyond the value of the card. No matter what, I do hope they're worth something one day. I mean, you'd be crazy not to hope, or to hope that something that you buy to keep for forever is terrible in value. It makes no sense to even hope that. Now, some of the things I collect, they're probably not worth a lot, so it's not the primary focus. But I do want it to be worth something, and I hope that it is worth something when my kids inherit it, or if I sell it beforehand. But the primary reason is to collect because I enjoy what I'm collecting. And I think it's very important to take a step back and think about why you're getting into the hobby to begin with. Because the majority of products that are put out right now, and this is from Panini, from Fanatics, to Topps, Bowman, anything that you can imagine, is purely marketing based towards you buying as much as you possibly can to chase a hit that may not be there. So if you're getting into the hobby for the first time, or you're new coming back, and you haven't collected since the 80s and 90s or early 2000s, it is crazy. And the prices that they're charging for sealed product is crazy. The price per pack is crazy. And what you get out of those packs is a ton of base cards that nobody wants to buy, that even if you did try to sell, they're $1 max on eBay most likely. And you're chasing a hit card, a numbered card, a relic, an auto, that chances are you're not going to find. If it's a specific player that you're trying to collect, 99 times out of 100, you are better off going to purchase that card from whatever means that you collect, Whatnot or eBay or whatever it is. Card shows, I highly suggest, putting those in your hands and looking at them. It's a money racket that has been created to market you to collectible items. And it's a facade. It makes it appear as if it's for you to collect, as to you be part of the hobby. But as most of us know by this point, the hobby itself has very, very much turned into a business. But it's referred to as the same thing. It's almost synonymous with business. They can coexist at the same time. People can sell cards. They can try to make as much money as they want to. There's a lot of positives that come from that. A lot of, I sell a lot of cards, or I did before, to offset the cost of buying ones that I wanted. That is one means of being involved in the hobby. Some people buy cards just to try to flip. They try to sell them on eBay. They try to grade them, find something at great value, have it graded, increase the value, and then sell it online. Other people are buying collections. I enjoy doing that, actually. One of my favorite shows out there is Chasing Cardboard. Ty, the host of that show, does a great job explaining purchasing and collections, what to look for, what not to look for, how to consider pricing. He sends out a lot of resources, and I found that to be a lot of fun because you're going through cards, you don't know what they are, so you get the same mystery as buying the packs. But at the same time, you're also not spending a fortune on random base cards, right? It's generational. There's a lot of different sets in those, depending on what collections you buy. You just have to be smart with what you're purchasing. So if I was a beginner right now and I was just starting out saying, hey, I want to collect, or I want to collect with my kids, what would I do? If you're wanting to spend a lot of time going through these things, I would go buy a small collection. Facebook Marketplace is a great thing for that. Flea markets are great. It's pretty easy to find collections. A lot of people are trying to overcharge. So that's where the research comes in, right? So that's the kind of content that I want to try to put out, that other content creators are trying to put out to inform and educate new collectors or people are getting back into the hobby on how things work now, which is a lot different than the way it did when I collected when I was a kid. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Just because it's not the same doesn't mean it doesn't make sense. We were all chasing the hit cards in the 90s also, in the 80s. They were more common in each pack, right? I was chasing an 87 Topps of Bo Jackson rookie card, or Barry Bonds, or, you're chasing the hit card, no different than they are today. It's just the stakes are so much higher. So I would say a couple things. One, try not to buy sealed product, hoping that you're going to hit something big. If it's just for fun entertainment, I say go for it, right? if you're trying to purchase cards for a specific collection, specific player that you enjoy, that makes the most sense. eBay is a great platform for that, whatnot. There's a few others that people use. I would suggest doing that first, getting used to the way that the process works, what the prices look like. And then I would spend the majority of the time absorbing content, doing research into what is valuable, what is not, how to purchase certain things, how not to purchase. Even if it's somebody that you're going to collect personally, you want to make sure you get good value, right? So at the same time, you also don't want to spend so much time researching that you forget to enjoy it. And that's a huge difference. You need to make sure that you're enjoying what you're collecting. Otherwise, it's pointless. So my advice to new collectors, and I'll try to put out some more content to show kind of what that looks like for not how to collect, but what to look for when you're just starting out, back into the hobby or in there for the first time. I've been there several times. I've had to learn the curve of what's happening. So I'll try to put out some more things along those lines to kind of steer you in the right direction. But just a word of advice. Don't do it to make money. Do it because you enjoy collecting, because it brings you happiness. It's a hobby. It's something that you enjoy for entertainment. Don't do it to try to get rich or for a side hustle. That takes so much effort and so much time. You have to have a certain personality and a certain desire to see that through long term. Breaking channels, there's some really great breaking channels out there. There's some people who do things honestly, and then there are some out there who will rip you a new one. I will say that there's a ton of people who spend a fortune on breaking. Breaking being paying for opening. You're not even the one to open the cards. You pay a fee. It buys you into somebody's video who's opening packs, and you get one of those packs or whatever it is, and you get whatever cards they open in the pack. You don't even get to open it. And then they mail you those and so on and so forth. It adds up a lot of money. It adds up a lot of time. It's something that I avoid like the plague because I have an addictive personality. I'll probably end up spending too much. If you're just starting out or just jumping back in, try to avoid those for now. I'm not saying forever. Try to avoid buying unopened boxes for now. Maybe not forever. Try to focus in on what you enjoy, what your kids enjoy, and purchase those. See how that goes first. Set a healthy budget and then move forward. That being said, it's a lot of fun. It is something great to do, family, with your kids, with friends. I found out a lot of coworkers that I work with love to collect, and that's made a big difference in having something to talk about besides work at work, which is if you have a career out there, it gets important after a while. So keep that in mind, and as always, try to enjoy it. Again, I want to overemphasize that because if you do not enjoy it as a hobby, you're sure not going to enjoy it as a business. And I think that's very important to distinguish the difference between the two. So I'm going to keep trying to come out with some more content soon. It's been rough with time. You guys know how life is. You have kids, house, job, wife. It adds up after a while. So I appreciate the patience, and I hope you guys follow or like the page, subscribe, whatever it is, and I'll keep some new content coming. Thanks for stopping by. See you guys.